Hi guys, this is Katie for the channel Weather Spazify, and I'm here to talk to you today about how I got healthy and happy. That's what I'm going to title it as. It came to my mind after coming out here in nature and walking around barefoot and finding a little place to plop out in nature, and it's been truly beautiful. I'm going to do a little panoramic view for you. It's my usual spot, but I got a little cushion and I'm sitting on the ground. I'm barefoot, so I did, actually, absorb some negative ions. I'm doing that right now. I've got my feet on the ground and I'm just sitting and chilling like our ancestors used to. Anyways, so I actually had a test that happened to me earlier, meaning a test of faith, because I was out here doing a recording and I was like 10 minutes into it, and then all of a sudden my technology was like, you're out of space, and I was like, ah. So I had to go through like 10 minutes of figuring out how to delete some things and then restart this whole video. But the point is that I was able to do that mindfully and calmly, and didn't let it like freak me out and ruin my experience, which I'm actually really glad for. And actually what reminded me to stay mindful was this little inchworm that I found on my little notebook right here. I don't know if you can see it, but this little guy, this little inchworm is just doing his thing and he's happy, just moving around. And I was like, dude, that is so cool. Like, we really need to simplify our lives in such a way that we're not freaking out all the time when things don't go our way, because there's a lot of things that we just can't control, and we need to learn to just go with the flow, So that was a little interesting life lesson. But back to what I really do want to talk about today, and right now, the little inchworm dude, I don't want him to get crushed by my little journal. What I want to get back to today is how to get healthy and happy, or to share with you how I got healthy and happy. And number one, I had to learn self-acceptance, okay? About 4 years ago, I got up to 254 pounds, okay? The heaviest I had ever been in my entire life. I never, ever thought that I would be that heavy. So I was pretty down for a while. But then, luckily, I learned how to just deal with who I was and what I looked like, and I learned to just accept myself for who I was in that moment in time, and gave myself a break, because I had gone through a lot of rough life experiences. I didn't use it as an excuse, but I tried to give myself a break, and in doing so, it actually helped inspire me to want to get healthy again, because I started to learn to respect myself again, and that was critical. So 1 was self-acceptance. 2 was learning how to live in the present moment, keeping my head out of the future and out of the past. Because the past, if our mind's in the past, they say that you're going to be depressed and compare everything that's happening now to what was. And if you're in the future, they say more than likely that's where your anxiety or your fear stems from, because you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Is the end of the world really going to happen? Like with this whole September 23rd thing, there's been a lot of fear mongering going on, I've noticed, around YouTube, and I think it's important that we really try to take some deep breaths and realize that that is far off from today, and we really need to choose love over fear. That's really what it comes down to, those two emotions, love or fear. At least that's what I've learned. So, okay, 2, learning how to live in the present moment. 3, mindfulness. Something that I learned, a technique basically where you try different meditations, or taking like 5 to 10 minutes a day to yourself, away from everybody, close the door if you live with people, and just kind of go into your room and listen to some really healing frequency music, such as 432 hertz or 528 hertz. I love 528 hertz because that's known as the love frequency. 528 hertz is the frequency of music, okay, or the sound resonance that John Lennon tried to spread awareness about before his death, okay. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because that song Imagine, that beautiful song, imagine all the people living for today. That was really bad, but anyways, imagine there's no countries, that there's no borders, no walls, that kind of thing. Basically, that we're all together living as one, and trying to focus on the present moment. He originally recorded the song Imagine in 528 hertz before the record company decided to, you know, snatch it and then re-record it in the now present 440 hertz. Okay, 440 hertz. 440 hertz, 440 hertz, HZ, has been known to be far more destructive than helpful in terms of our health. So a lot of the commercial radio songs that we listen to, and I catch myself doing this too still, when we listen to those songs, a lot of them are tuned to 440 hertz because a lot of record labels and companies do that. I don't really know all the motives behind it. I'm sure some might be not being aware of what the effects are, and some people might be purposefully doing that. But the point is that it's good to just be aware and cognizant of it, because it can, those frequencies emit vibrations that in turn hit our bodies, and we are made of 70 to 80% water. So the vibrational frequencies from those commercial songs that a lot of us listen to on the radio, they can really impact how we feel, because it can cause our organs to you know, vibrate at a frequency that it's not used to or not supposed to, and can cause a lot of disharmony or you know, disarray, okay, or chaos within our body, and cause us to feel off. It can cause our moods to change from, like, you know, we can start off with being happy and then all of a sudden get pissed off at the world, or get like, whoa, an amped up adrenaline rush. Our moods can just go spike, you know. And I know this from personal experience, and I'm a scientist and I love physics, okay? I'm an atmospheric scientist and physicist, and I will tell you that I've done a lot of lab experiments on how different sound frequencies can affect the movement of water and solid particulates in air. Like, I did a lab actually that involved cake sprinkles on speakers, and water in cups with food dye and coloring on speakers, and I would put them on different speakers, and you could see how the vibrational frequencies caused such a dramatic effect on each. And the more smooth and calming one was the 528 hertz love frequency, and the 432 hertz frequency, that it's basically just the frequency that, you know, we're used to being at. And it kind of is more in alignment with the Schumann resonance, which meaning it's more in harmony with the 7.83 hertz Schumann resonance I spoke of earlier in my other video. I think it was my first video on nature that I was doing, and it's the resonant frequency of nature. So anyways, sorry for getting a little sidetracked there on frequencies. Number 4, the other thing that I really learned to get healthy and to lose the 100 pounds that I lost is to switch to organic, non-GMO foods. That was critical. As soon as I switched to non-GMO organic foods, I started to have more clarity. I started to sleep better. I started to be more aware of my surroundings. I started to be more aware of my own behaviors, how I was acting, what I was eating, how I was eating, you know, and my emotional responses to situations. I noticed that a lot of the ways in which I reacted was just completely crazy. Well, not crazy, but like irrational, you know what I mean? Like, I would freak out about little things that, you know, you just gotta let go. You know, you spill coffee on yourself, you gotta laugh. I mean, you know, it sucks, but you gotta laugh, you know? So non-GMO organic foods are great, and they help keep our DNA intact, the way that it was meant to be, the way it is supposed to be, the way that we were born. DNA strands should not be being altered, and they should not be influenced in a negative way, because, you know, that ties us to our ancestral roots. And through my research, I've found that genetically modified organisms, or GMOs, so foods with GMOs is what I'm speaking of, what I used to eat. Those foods I refer to as junk foods, because it causes more of your DNA to convert into junk DNA. And there's a lot of scientists out there in the biomedical field and, you know, biology sectors and microbiology that say that like 93%, I'm not positive, but I think it's 93% of our DNA is junk DNA. Well, I don't agree with that, first of all. And secondly, I don't agree with adding to the problem, if it really is one, by, you know, inherently taking in more genetically modified foods that our body's not used to, and causing more junk DNA to the picture. We need our DNA to be unraveled and to enlivened so we can remember who we are and why we're here on this earth and what we're here to do. And a lot of us are here on a mission, and that is to help people stop hurting the environment, and to help people get back in touch with their natural, down-to-earth, sweet selves, with their own unique talents and gifts that they were given here on this planet. My thing is that I used to love broadcasting, and I did live TV and live radio for a number of years as a meteorologist, and I loved it. It was great at that time, because at that time I was on a mission. I was like hardcore. I was so driven and into science, and I was at a nice lean weight. And then after going to graduate school and going through a lot of stress, I put on a lot of weight, and then at that time teaching was my best option, right? And then after that, after I lost all this weight, over 100 pounds, and learning about all these simple, natural ways to get healthy and getting back out into nature, then I realized, wait a minute, I think I'm here for a different reason altogether. I think I'm here to, help spread my information to others, not just keep it to myself and be selfish, but to let all of you know that there are things you can do to help make yourself feel better and more valued in today's society. Because a lot of us are just, having to work an insane number of hours per week unnecessarily. It's like Neo in the Matrix. He's just like just completely blown away when he starts to see the two different realities, and how there's just so many alternate realities. So if I can do it, you can do it. If you're trying to lose weight or get healthy or just feel better about yourself or just get more fit. Okay. Another thing that really helped besides organic, non-GMO foods, I have little notes. That's what I'm looking at right here. Vegetarian diet. It has been like 1 year to this month to where I've been a vegetarian, and I'm smiling because this is one of the hardest things I ever had to do in my life, because I did this alone, on my own. And I was inspired by Ralph Smart, who runs the YouTube channel Infinite Waters Diving Deep. Once again, that's Infinite Waters Diving Deep. And I added him along with a few others on the main page of my YouTube channel account, Weather Spazify. At the bottom it says recommended video or channels for inspiration. And Ralph Smart, or Infinite Waters, is one of the main reasons why I decided to try vegetarianism. I started in September of last year, 2016, and I didn't know how far I could make it, to be honest. By the time I got to Thanksgiving, I was like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna need turkey. I've eaten turkey every single year for 29 years. Oh my gosh. And then I realized, no, you've come this far, you can do it. That's just mind programming. That's just engraved up here. That's your thoughts. Think about plans ahead of time. What can you eat instead? What side dishes can you get instead? So by doing that, I ended up eating mashed potatoes, green beans, and all these amazing side dishes, put them all together onto a plate, and I was happy. And I still was mindful as to what I was eating and eating more slowly. And I didn't put on that usual 5 to 10 pounds that everybody puts on vacation. I just was eating like I normally would and appreciating the food that I was given. And those are also higher vibrational foods, vegetables and fruits, grains, things like that. That really helps increase your vibration or increase your awareness here on earth, and helps you become more in touch with what's around me, nature, right? It helps you become more mindful of the other life forms that we should be living in harmony with, and we should be treating better. And the main reason or motive that caused me to go vegetarian, in addition to helping me get healthier, was the fact that I found out that what they're doing to a lot of the animals in terms of while they're alive, by injecting all of these dangerous hormones and all of these things that aren't good for them. And then, in America at least, a lot of meat companies have been really going about slaughtering a lot of these animals in a very brutal manner. And I don't know about you, but I'm an animal lover, and I have a pet, and I've had pets, and I felt like a hypocrite when I found out that so many of these animals are mistreated so brutally, and it's been going on for so long, but especially more so in the past decade. So that's really what really hit my heart space, you know? And I was like, okay, wow, I really need to just at least try this vegetarian thing and just see how it feels, test it out. And I noticed that it just made me a happier person. It made me see the positive light in things and in situations and things like that. And it helped me get over a lot of the little spurts of anger or anxiety or, you know, little depression spells I'd go into more quickly. I would get out of them faster because I was on a higher vibration level or a more light level. It just feels more light and just more just jovial, just happy, you know? And I wrote down some key tips for you guys that hopefully will help. And I'm not really sure how to pan the camera here, so bear with me. I'm gonna try. Hopefully this will work. I don't know if you can see this. And I'm not sure if this is the right way. I'm not sure if you guys can see that right. But the first one is alkaline ionized water. My first key tip. We are comprised of 70 to 80% water, so we need that alkaline ionized water. Now, alkaline. The reason why I say alkaline water is because our bodies naturally need to be in an alkaline state, or else disease and bacteria and viruses can fester more easily. Because the opposite of alkaline is acidic or acid buildup. And the more acid in our bodies, the worse it is for staying healthy and keeping your immune system up. So by drinking a lot of alkaline fresh water, ionized is even better. That means it's infused with negative ions. I recommend that. Or fresh spring water, real spring water from a really, really good reputable source should already automatically be alkaline and ionized. And that's what I drink. I only drink that. And if you're going to drink bottled water, be very careful because a lot of the plastics are not BPA free. And what that means is that BPA basically is a chemical that is petroleum based that can leach into your water product from your bottle if you get the wrong kind of bottled water if you drink that. So be really careful with what kind of bottled water you're getting, okay? So the bottled water I get is always BPA free packaging. Some of it I'm not promoting anything, I'm just gonna mention it, and that's the Icelandic glacial water. That's good. It's got like 8.4 pH, which is alkaline. It's natural spring water source, and it's a naturally carbon neutral product and is a BPA free packaging. And I also get a water called Nothing water. I like it because it's so simple. Nothing is what it's called, and it's from Norway, and it's also BPA free packaging. So those two have really been a lifesaver for me. And also be weary of the word purified. Purified means that it could be municipal wastewater that's just been recycled and renewed and cleaned up to where you can drink it. But in my opinion, I think there'd be more life force energy in spring water from a fresh mountain spring than purified water that's been recycled from municipal wastewater. I know it sounds gross, but a lot of our water does come from that. I'm not saying that it's going to hurt you necessarily, but I just think that it wouldn't help you as much or be as beneficial as spring water. So that's another tip, okay? So just to review, self-acceptance, being in the present moment, mindfulness while doing anything, especially eating, eat your food more slowly, and really take your time to appreciate what you've been given and what you've received to eat in that moment in time. And number four is non-GMO organic foods, okay, and supplements if you can, and look for the two labels. The first one is USDA organic. The second label is non-GMO verified, okay. And the fifth one that I recommended, I believe that I've done based on my own experience, is vegetarianism, or trying to just phase out meat slowly, okay? It's good to just go at your own pace. Don't do it so rapidly to where it shocks your body, okay? It's good to wean down off of it if you want to do this. Be very careful, all right? So these are basically my tips of how I got healthy and happy, and I have a lot more I want to share with you in my next video. In the next video, I'm going to be talking to you about supplements, different supplements that I've added to these foods over the past 3 to 4 years of losing all of this weight and becoming more healthy and more high vibration, or having a more high vibratory way of living, and being more down to earth and authentic and things like that. What's really helped me, I'll get into more in depth. I don't want to overload you with information too much in one video. So just remember that if you're going to remember anything from this video, just remember alkaline, fresh spring water, okay? And organic, non-GMO foods, okay? Those are key. And phasing out the meat, okay? Trying to, if that's your thing. And I really appreciate all of you guys who have subscribed recently. I really appreciate the support, the positive comments, the positive feedback. You guys are fantastic. And I'm so glad this is helping some of you, because that's why I'm doing this, is to share my experiences with you so that you guys can hopefully learn something. And if you already know all this, that's fine. It will just reinforce it and let you know that you're not alone, because I know that it can feel pretty lonely doing all this by yourself, because it was for me for a while. But I've started to attract similar like-minded individuals, and so that's really cool. That law of attraction really does work once you understand all of the 12 main universal laws. So thank you for listening, and I hope that you have enjoyed this little video transmission, and I hope you have a wonderful week. It is Sunday, I believe September 17th, if I'm not mistaken. If I am, I'm sorry, but it's the Sunday after September 11th. So let's see, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, yeah. Sunday, September 11th. And so I hope you all have a fantastic week. Be upbeat going into wherever you go into work on Monday, and think about what kind of things you want for your life, for you. Not what anybody else wants, but what do you want for yourself? And remember to tell yourself that you are awesome, you are amazing. You can do I am affirmations, that's what I do. Look up some binaural beats, some healthy frequencies, 432 hertz or 528 hertz online before bed. That will calm and soothe you right down. And that's what I do. So I hope you guys have a great week. And this is, once again, Weather Spazify. My name is Katie, and namaste. Talk to you later. Bye.